pra fora. Pô, então, amor, mostra aí, pô.
This first video was captured in Las Vegas, Nevada in July of 2021. A woman was home at the time this happened, but claimed she never responded to anything the man said, making his actions and words all the more disturbing. This unknown man can be seen having walked up to the door, starting to speak and knock on the door, attempting to get the homeowner's attention.
Are you sure?
The man proceeds to do the following.
I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? What? Are you sure? I just rang your doorbell because I have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you sure? I just have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? Are you positive? I just have a couple questions for you. Are you sure? Are you positive? Are you sure? Are you absolutely certain?
At this point, the man can be seen seemingly giving up as he walks away. He doesn't get too far from the house though before a man's voice can be heard from the doorbell itself asking, "Who are you?" To which the man turns around and comes back to the door, and I will let the rest of the clip speak for itself.
Who are you?
What? Yeah? Are you sure?
Who are you?
Hey, I just had a couple questions. I just wanted to ask you about AV fuel. Yeah, can you hear me? What I'm looking for is for the girl that's in the house to come out here because I'm going to rape her and kill her. Can you have her open the door? I'm going to rape and kill the girl that's on the other side of this door when she lets me in. I want to rape her and kill her because I have a knife and a gun. Yeah, and I'm going to knock on her door again.
The man then gets spooked by something, or at least just decides to leave, and can be seen walking off into the distance, saying, "Are you sure?" again, and mumbling to himself. Luckily, after reviewing the footage, police were able to identify the man as 40-year-old Christopher Sums. Police concluded that Christopher must have seen the woman and her son through their kitchen window, which was open at the time, while walking by, to which he decided to go to the front door and do what you just saw. It is clear that this man was mentally unstable, under the influence of something or both, as he kept repeating himself in an uncomfortable and creepy way even when he wasn't getting any response back. This is a case where having this doorbell footage helped alert the homeowner to a potentially dangerous visitor and also helped the police apprehend the person. In August of 2018, a resident of Montgomery, Texas called the police after an unknown woman rang her doorbell in the middle of the night. The neighborhood in question was a nicer neighborhood, and this type of thing was anything but common there. The woman in the video can be seen partially undressed, and she is wearing a set of handcuffs on one hand. Another chilling detail is the fact that there is padding on the handcuffs, which indicates that someone had been restraining this woman for an extended period of time. Initially, local residents suspected this woman looked similar to a missing woman in the area at the time, but officers denied the possibility after looking into it. Later on in the month, police were indeed able to identify the woman as 32-year-old Lauren. Officers confirmed that she was alive and well after they received a call to a house in the same area around 11 a.m. on August 29th, to which a man in the house was threatening to take his own life. When police arrived at the scene, the man, later identified as 48-year-old Dennis Collins, was deceased due to a self-inflicted injury. Police also found his girlfriend to be the woman from the doorbell footage. Lauren would end up speaking to some media about the ordeal, and it turns out that 4 months after dating Dennis, she fell asleep next to him one night, to which she woke up to him kneeling on her chest and trying to stuff some sort of gag in her mouth. She said she truly felt that she was going to die that night. On April 19th, 2017, the man in the video you're about to see had shown up to the house and rang the doorbell. It was later found that this was his way of checking if anyone was home, but although the resident was indeed home at the time, he was wearing headphones and did not hear the bell. Fast forward to 2:16 p.m., about 10 minutes after the initial ringing of the doorbell, and the man returned to the front porch accompanied by another man, which can be seen on the left side of the screen here. After ringing the bell one more time to no response, the man began to kick at the door aggressively, obviously trying to break in. After several loud kicks to the door, the homeowner yelled out, "What?" to which the man got spooked and walked off. A detailed description of the two men was given to police based on this footage, but it is unknown if they were ever identified. I couldn't find a lot of information on the following clip, but many of you may have seen it before, or at least other clips like it. As most of you probably remember, there was a sort of clown epidemic in 2016 in the US that lasted for several months, in which people would dress up as clowns and go up to people's doors or otherwise approach them in public to cause panic and fear. As you can see, someone dressed as a clown walks up to the door, to which the visitor hears what sounds like a baby crying, and most likely fearing getting caught, he heads back the way he came. Most of these incidents were later proven to have been teenagers or adults joining in on the mass fear by dressing up as a prank to scare people. This being said, there were some cases in which the clowns would commit actual crimes, such as attempting to break into homes, threatening and intimidating people, and more. While this could have easily been a prank, the scary thing about these clowns is that any one of them could very well have been hiding some much worse intentions behind the mask. In this clip, a woman can be seen arriving home and attempting to unlock her door and enter her home late one night. Shortly after she gets the door open, one man can be seen holding what appears to be a gun and rushing behind the woman, to which he tells her not to move or scream. You can then see a second man run up to the door as well, to which the men stole the woman's car keys and left in a hurry, driving off with her car.
Okay.
Luckily, the two men were later identified and the car was recovered, but this one just goes to show that you must be aware of your surroundings at all times. It is so easy, especially at night with less people around, for someone to follow you home or otherwise stalk you, just waiting for a moment of vulnerability to strike. Luckily for the woman in the video, the man only seemed interested in taking her car and not injuring her herself, but this obviously could have turned out very differently had she resisted. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you liked the video, go ahead and hit the thumbs up button and consider subscribing and turning on notifications to see more videos like this in the future. I post videos every Friday and there are a lot of exciting ones coming up and you will not want to miss them. You all have an awesome weekend and I will see you in the next video.